why they actually killed those Benue residents on January 2nd. We'll be looking at all of these issues on the show this morning.
Exactly, and my sincere prayer is that all this just comes to, ends as soon as possible. We're just living or about getting away from fuel scarcity. We have the case of the Chibok girls, we have the case of so many cases.
Yes,
and I just feel this is the time where this should be addressed. I hope the presidency does something about this. Okay, since we'll be looking at Benue killings, Miyetti Allah speaks out.
Yes, and we have a guest here with us in the studio. He's an ambassador of the Nigerian Army School of Public Relations. He is a security expert, and he is the Chief Executive Officer of August Eye Security. Ambassador Roy Ahidebe, thanhanks for joining us at Galaxy today. Yes.
Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
All right, we're looking at Benue killings. We're just barely 8 days into the new year, and killings are already, just a couple of days ago, we all said Happy New Year, and we're all grateful we crossed into the year. And now our brothers are killing each other. Let's start with you from the security angle. What would you say is behind all this?
Well, we usually start our discussions with banter, crack jokes, we laugh. It's a morning show. But I just have a reservation not to be so happy this morning, okay? We have lost a lot of lives. These are people that are breadwinners in families. So you have not looked at the cascading effects of one person being killed that survives close to 10, 15 others. We have not looked at the criminal implications that will be arising from that. We are not looking at more vendetta opportunities, people nursing the grudges to say, I will revenge later. So it's not allowed in any society to take lives of people when you are not a government agency and when that person's life has not been prescribed to be taken. Now, looking ahead of that, if we go back to 2013, the herdsmen and the Fulani terrorism of communities around their grazing areas, it has not been prescribed as a terrorist group because I think the killings were not up to an alarming rate. Okay, as at 2014 upward, we now had it becoming the fourth against Boko Haram, Taliban, ISIS, and the Al-Shabaab. Now, if you have it at that quantum at 2014, this is 2018. How many years are we talking about? And we have opportunities of government to look into certain issues that are going to become a lingering problem. Lingering problems are not what government needs. What government needs is maybe an outburst of a crisis and you intervene. But when you have a lingering problem and you are campaigning to come on power, what was the think tank towards? Was the think tank not towards curbing the lingering problem? So if the think tank was curbing the lingering problem, how is it that it still persisted? That is where we are right now.
Okay, another alarming thing right now, before we take the report on the IGP, the spacing it as a communal clash. Miyetti Allah came out to say on Saturday that it was more like a reprisal to the fact that these farmers in Benue State stole some of the cattle. But is that enough justification, for them to kill innocent human beings? They're innocent because they've not been, charged in court or, called them criminals by a court of law.
Okay. Now, in the towns where we live, we had recurring issues we called jungle justice, where someone steals a phone, the person is burnt alive, and we say it is jungle justice. Okay? Now, where we're forgetting that we have jungles in Nigeria where there are no justice. We had communities living in jungles without justice. A crime is a crime, Justin. Now, let's take it from this angle, because I'm not here this morning to talk about President Muhammadu Buhari. I'm not here to talk about APC or PDP. Those games are okay. We are okay with them. We are okay with all those kind of undercover discussions, coining a discussion. People are dying. And we are here talking about who is supposed to do what. We have a system running already in Nigeria. It's called the Federal Constitution of Nigeria. Yes, now, if we have people arrested by the police, we have citizens giving the police reasonable information, evidence to prosecute, and we have a judiciary with laws already in their hand. They are not waiting for those billions of laws lying down under the table in the National Assembly. They have this one already to penalize for murder. Then, when the judiciary has taken action, then is the time before we will be talking about a government. Don't influence it, please. But when we don't have evidence, we don't have police arresting people, we don't have prosecution seeing the light of day, we don't have a judiciary that is penalizing for a crime called murder, then we are already in trouble. Because if you look at the whole situation, people are ready to lay back and call government. And the next morning, your brother or your sister is dead. There is already a process on ground. If it is not being followed, do we have evidence? This, you recall there are some people that they said have been arrested right now.
Yes.
No, let's have that now as a case study. There were people arrested in Enugu, bros. And within that, there was somebody, an Igbo man, that was pointed as the one that was showing them where to pass in that Enugu situation. That's years ago. I don't have any information again. Yeah. I don't have. Maybe that man should have been taken for maybe supporting information to the criminals and all of that. This is another 2 cases now. Who will prosecute them? The same police that arrested them, do they have enough evidence? Who will now initiate penalty? The same judiciary that we are waiting to take Evans to the gallows.
Okay, that shows a whole lot of crack in our judicial system, criminal justice system. But we're still talking, the Miyetti Allah speaking out as regards the Benue killing. But we have to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, welcome back from that commercial break. You're just talking about the holes in our criminal justice system. Can you just go on?
Yeah, you know, now in this kind of situation where people have died, you know, all you will see now is distractions. All you will see now is coining of comments to look as if it is this or that. Let me take you down to policing. We have area surveillance. We have the marine police. Right now, states are supporting the police to buy vehicles, to buy bikes. Nobody is thinking about the forest region. Look, Justin, it was during this Boko Haram situation that we now knew that we have forest region greater than occupied landmass. Now, we now know that there is enough place to hide 200 and above young girls. Young girls. You can imagine if there is an uncompleted building near your house. You can imagine a cat in that uncompleted building crying at night. Distances away, people will hear that cry. Now you can imagine where farmers could not even hear the cry of where people are kept. You can imagine a mass of people, terrorist groups, or the retreat of the armed herdsmen that have come into a community and killed people. Where are they retreating to? We have forgotten to police our forest region. There is something called forest rangers.
Speaking of policing regions in our community, The Benue State Governor, Samuel Otom, came out to say that the federal government, and other security agencies, have seemingly, abandoned them. But my question right now is that, as the #1 chief security officer of his state, shouldn't he have some big role to play?
With all due respect, I don't like talking to people in authority because actually the seat is hot. Okay, they have a lot of commitment they have agreed to do before they got into power. They have a lot of people that supported them to get into power that they are loyal to. And if issues crop up and it ties to those people, they are seemingly handicapped. Okay, so I don't want to talk against that. But what I want to say is when lives are lost, all other benefits becomes peripheral. To me, I will resign. And I will tell you after I resign, I'm going to press. And I will come out with all the information I have to protect other lives. And I will not mind mine. Now, if you look at the governor's seat in itself, what opportunities does the governor have to shy away from those commitments he has given before he got into power? Because I said something before that we campaign to win elections. While we are campaigning to win elections, we use the problems on ground to campaign. And when we get into power, are we not coming with a strategy, with a systematic solution-based plan to solve those problems? If we have, what is the step-by-step process? And have we started the step-by-step process? Now, what is the think tank doing? Let's look at the governor's response. I look at the federal government and I see that the federal government is not responding. What do I do as a governor? I come inward. In that state, Benue State, I was in the military. I will tell you that Benue is a state that the people are interested in security. Go to the DSS. You will see a lot of people from Benue State in the DSS, in the police, in the Army, Navy, Air Force, name it, they are there. Now, what about the ones that have retired? Are they not a teeming wealth of opportunity to use as your backup in your state? Because if I'm back in my state and I'm functioning as a pseudo-security opportunity for the state, would I not be beyond commitment when I can die for the country? Then will I not be able to lay my life down for my state? Now, listen, if you look at the retirement age bracket of uniform security personnel, I am retired for close to 13 years now, 13 or 14 years. And at my age of 48 now, I am still combat ready. Imagine a governor calling together all of this form of people. If the federal government is biased, if the federal government tells its military, look the other way. If the federal government tells its police, look the other way. What about these agency retirees that even those that resigned or were dismissed that are in your state? Can you not call them together
and engage them?
Can you not engage them? Because when I'm in uniform, you are a journalist, you are a Muslim, she's a journalist, she's a Christian. You have done journalism for 2, 3, 4 years and you disengaged. And you meet again tomorrow, she will not talk to you like a Muslim. You will not talk to her like a Christian. You are now journalists. You will come together and say, babe, we have rules of engagement. We have policies that we
have to follow.
Now, those retirees could strengthen protective measures within the state. That is for one. Two, we have private security practitioners. When Libya was falling down finally, private security practitioners came up to take up security of some key areas. Now we have private security practitioners in Nigeria here, whom from that state, don't go and get anybody outside because it may be business as usual. Get someone from the state.
Because they understand the terrain.
Yes, either his sister will be dying tomorrow or his in-law will be dying tomorrow. Bring them together in the government house and say, where are we? If they need to engage assailants with arms, they are retired personnel. They will need to. They will know how to acquire it. They will know how to use it within jurisdiction of rules of engagement. They will not just go out and start killing the opponent. They will do it within rules of engagement. So I think the government is lax. I think the government is not positioning itself properly to protect our brothers and sisters that are dying.
Okay, sir. So if you're saying that in your own words...
Okay, sorry, before we continue, I think we are getting signals from Ibadan. They're already standing by Dr. Badeojo is a political scientist, and okay, I think we lost him. Okay, just continue, Uche.
Okay, so I just want us to get it clear. If you're saying that this is a failure from the angle of the government, would you not rather say that is actually a security issue?
Okay, Roy, please hold that thought. Let's see if we can quickly take Ibadan before we go. All right, welcome back from that report. It's still Galaxy today, and we are looking at the Benue killings. And we still have Ambassador Roy Ohidebe with us here in the studios. Just yesterday, we heard that the mastermind of the Omoku killings have been killed. And what I am trying to get out of all of this is that it was this fast. It was this prompt. There were also reported cases of Fulani herdsmen killing in Ekiti State, and governor there, that's Ayodele Fayose, was also very proactive, and we've not really heard anything in recent times. What are the lessons that Benue should learn from all of this?
Yes.
Okay, let me take the Ekiti State issue. I was informed about the town hall meeting. I went to Ekiti State.
Okay.
I took care of my logistics. I went to Ekiti State. I was in that meeting. There is a Lomira road taking. Everybody has their record there, so it can be verified. Okay? And what the governor did on that day was very encouraging. But you know, we don't think about lives when we are thinking about politics. Politics comes first, because the people that are dying are not those that are running the politics. Now, if we think about lives, so many governors would have copied that, and not in total. You can now design it to suit your terrain, because there are delta states, there are states in the forest regions, there are states in the desert regions, so you can't really just take it pari passu like that. But he assigned an Hausa man, and he gave him a position. He assigned the farming community too, and gave them positions. And he formed a monitoring community that will monitor what each party is doing. And they are on uniform, being sponsored by the state. And he gave grazing hours. You can't graze beyond so and so time. And he gave grazing limits. You can't carry your cows into so and so areas. Those are arable lands for farm produce. You know, and they all agreed that, okay, we will monitor our people. This said we will monitor our people. Then the government themselves are there to penalize violators. We're there to penalize violators. Now let's look at the other question of the cultist that was killed.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, people respond to environment as per the agency they could muster. The army, the DSS, and all of that, I'm telling you that their activities are restricted. The army can combat an armed person or armed persons that have been identified to be in this dress code, to be carrying arms, to be within this catchment area. The army comes to dislodge or to eliminate. Now, what do you say about a cultist? It's because they have identified, the DSS had intelligence where the guy was. The army backup was to meet the firepower that they anticipated. We are talking about forest region. Two areas we are having major challenge in this country: the forest areas and the maritime. Both our marine police don't have the capacity and the logistics to contain what they are supposed to. You are looking at the Navy. The Navy is understepping its bounds to come into creeks. The Navy is supposed to protect territorial violations, especially pirates and all that coming into the country through the water with maybe banned produce and all, supporting the customs and all other bodies, that the immigration that watch inflow of people, inflow of goods. Those are the things. Then the marine police, they are the ones that are supposed to identify each boat that passes. They should know that Justin is the one flying that boat. He uses it for passenger to move people from Lekki to Ikorodu to work in the evening. They should know them. They should identify them. They should have license. They should have codes. They should be able to monitor the movement of this. They should have a control room to monitor the maritime. Now, when you talk about the forest region, it is during this Boko Haram issue that we now know that there are forest lands that are greater than the occupied lands in Nigeria. And there are marine lands between Niger and Nigeria, Cameroon, Nigeria, and all of that, that are built up with forests, that we don't know that there is another government there. That government in those areas are the ones rearing their heads now. All of these people that are terrorists, that are rustlers, they meet there the same way armed robbers, kidnappers meet in clubhouses in built-up areas. So when they meet there, they know themselves, you are a criminal, I'm a criminal. They don't usually have issues. It's when they want to go for operation. So now the government has forgotten those areas. And this is the time. You heard what that police officer is saying now, that we will ask for backup, that we will ask for capacity, we will. And people are dying.
Not that they have.
We are supposed to have engaged the layabouts in the forest region. I don't want anybody to tell me that people perpetrating arms are foreigners. If I stay in Bayelsa for more than 10 years, am I not a citizen? I'm a citizen. I can contest for government, especially if I have a land, I have business running, I have married from there. These are people that have intermarried. I do conciliation and mediation a lot, especially with farmers and cattle rearers where I have security guard services. And I have seen that the Fulani men we are talking about, they are married to our people who is not Fulani. They can speak your language because the man spoke the Yoruba language. I'm talking about offshoot of Ibadan where I went to. He was speaking Yoruba. He called his Yoruba wife, you know. So you can't say foreigner. What I want people to be telling me is a crime was committed. Roy killed somebody. It is called what? Murder. And if there is evidence, where does evidence come from? The civilian populace who were there when the crime was what? Committed. Then the police now arrest me with the evidence from the citizens and take me to court. And the court should go ahead and do what they need. Nobody should say President Muhammadu Buhari ears have been blocked by a cabal. The cabal and Buhari don't have business for a system that has been set.
All right.
The system should run.
Okay, but taking it from there, I mean, I like us to look at a statement that someone made earlier about education. I'm thinking, like, do you think that education has a role to play in this? This is where I'm going to. I mean, they don't want grazing. Maybe if they were well educated about it, they will see the benefit of it. So do you think that education awareness and the likes played a major role in this? And for future's sake, would you suggest this so that we don't have future occurrence?
Education supposed to be tailored to passion. You don't educate people out of their passion. Let me just give you A is for apple. Hello, every child goes to the market with the mom. They go to the farm in the village with their parents. They don't see apple. They see orange, they see pawpaw, they see banana. They don't see apple. And we are telling them A is for apple. So if you go into the nomads and you want to educate them, you must mix it up with their passion. You must be able to mix it up with the educational capabilities of someone rearing a cattle. What is it called in Western? What is this thing you are doing called in English? Then before you can now be imputing geography to say you need to know around you, then you are building their interests. You don't just take a Montessori standard to a nomad community and you are expect they will come today, they won't come tomorrow. It's useless to them. It's useless to them when they get home and their mommy is doing fura they no know and they can't tell her to prevent flies from entering it because it's going to be this and that. Let's go to education now, and the nomads, and the forest region. Let's tie it up into a cluster. Now, am I not supposed to firstly start forming a security agency that can police the forest region? Am I not supposed to create a training school in that forest region, not outside, in that forest region? And you know, creating a training school, whether a barrack or a police training school, people go there and cluster and buy land around there. Now, while you are doing that, you are educating. You are educating them to secure the environment. That is the kind of education that you should be taking to those places. Because they too, they are already being threatened. Imagine how it was before. Before, it is with their stick, carrying their cattle. We were selling land to them. Most of these Fulani communities we are talking about, they have bought lands from my brothers and your brothers. They have large chunks of lands already. So they are already citizens of that place. So they also are threatened in the forest region where they are by cattle rustlers who come with arms. So to protect themselves, there is a growing militia there who they can call and say, this farmer killed my cow. Those people run your village down, kill everybody and go back. They are not patient enough to carry cattle. They are already criminals. These people rustle their cattle, go and get it back. So they are doing the work of the government, so they start detecting the tone within those regions. The government need to go in there. The government need to go in there. That's why Boko Haram could hold ground to this extent, because we have not captured how to enter those terrain, how to govern it, how to imply government policies in those terrain. That is a major clause.
All right, it's still Galaxy Television.